and Matt LaFleur are covering machines. Like two of the best coaches in the business in covering. We got Thursday night football. I can't wait for a little Thursday night football. Green Bay, Detroit. I've been leaning all week Green Bay because of just the fact that, they already lost Aiden Hutchinson. Reader's not going to play tonight. Can't remember one of their other linemen's out right now. I'm just like, if you don't get any pressure, Green Bay has a really good offensive line. Detroit's is probably better. But if you have Jordan Love just sitting and chilling in the pocket, that's one of those things where you just got to be like, man, that hurts. Yep, defensive tackle DJ Reader is out. Levi, their defensive end, is out. Josh Paschal is out. By the way, defensive end. And, of course, they know, Aiden Hutchinson's been out. Man, I know they got depth, and I know they're all NFL football players. But that's losing, your studs. And let's be real, one of the weaknesses for the Lions, they do a lot of bending and not breaking. They score a whole lot of points in ball control, and they run like mamma jammas. Best play-action football team out there. Jared Goff is awesome. But their defense and everything, they don't put pressure on the quarterback. And one person that scares me is Jordan Love is the dude. I mean, he's a dude. I'm sure you saw that 49ers game. Darian saw it because they drop-kicked him in the face 38-10. And the Packers played earlier in the season, and they lost to Detroit 24-14. That was when my man Jordan Love was turning the ball over a lot more. They were a much healthier football team back then. And I just feel like it's hard to beat the same team in the same year. Of course, in the same dead gum division, fighting for division supremacy, you got Minnesota, Green Bay, and Detroit. Sorry, Bears. But, man, beating the same team in your division twice in a year when you know each other so well, it still has me leaning dead gum Green Bay. We will give you our bets at the very, very end of the show. We're going to talk some of the Grizzlies action with Isaac Simpson as well. I got Hardenwood because it feels so good because it's absolutely hilarious and funny and fun. So we're going to have a little bit of fun. But I got to tell you something, Darian, real quick.
Go for it, good sir.
So I rolled in from Oxford. You know how much you love your children.
I know. I missed the Tiger game because of a child last night.
Give your tickets away. No, you were using media credentials?
I was going to use both last night.
You going to use your media credential on you and take some of the kids?
Amen.
I know how that is. But my goodness, last night, I'm down in Oxford. It is Wednesday night. And again, I know that's a party town, and they have a lot of fun. And my daughter's 21st birthday party.
Three of them.
Final one. You know how it is when you're your first 21, first 21 birthday or whatever. She did the whole dinner with me and Chas and a couple of her friends at Oxford, whatever steakhouse on the square.
Then she shocked you and said, "Dad, let's do shots."
Yes and no. I'm going to tell you about that in 2 seconds. Then, she did her little, birthday party with Jenny and Joel, sweet people. That's her mother and her stepfather. And, of course, then she was like, well, I want to, do something big with all my friends. What about written out funkies and blah, blah, blah. And she's going to do some poster book thing. I don't know. I'm not a young person. I don't understand these things. They had a professional photographer. They're doing all these, pictures and do. Everybody was decked out in formals because they were going to a formal after the dead gum thing. So on a Wednesday night in Oxford, that place was packed. Parking was such a pain. Such a pain.
They didn't know you were coming.
I parked in the police officers'
parking spot?
No. There was a little sheriff's junk down the street, and there was a little spot open.
Called the clank.
And I pulled my car up in that bad boy. Bam. Bam. But everybody was partying on a Wednesday night like it's crazy. And by the way, don't ever say Yeah, baby, I'll take care of the bar tab. Because my goodness, thank God for Joel and Jenny. We split that joint.
It's like a wedding. You
I
gotta
didn't
split it.
realize how many people were coming up to her birthday party. They had a 16 and change, almost $1,700 bar tab.
With Harden's card on file.
Oh man, thank God. No, I didn't put one on file. I would have put like me and Chass's, and then she would have beat me. I actually brought cold hard cash down there and thought it'd be like, I was thinking $600-700. Damn, they drank a lot. But my daughter did a shot of Rumplemints, and I was like, what the bleep are you doing? So yeah, welcome to 21. That's 100 proof peppermint schnapps. You know what Rumplemints is for?
What you got?
Well, one, to get you drunk.
Yeah.
But mainly, like, let's say you're at a bar.
What you make with like Jaeger
Oh
bombs?
no, man! I'm not. This is the reason. No. I mean, I've done, man. Back in the day, I've done a ton of those things. Now I just drink Tito's. But Rumble Mints, if you've been like out for a few hours, you ate and drinking beer all night, you might have a little funky breath.
Oh,
and next thing you know, you meet up with a hot chick. That 100 proof peppermint schnapps is gonna burn your mouth, minty and perfect, and now you can start making out with her. That's a make-out saver.
Only you Rumplemans for the breath freshener.
Man, that's exactly what you got to do. Trust me, people. If you're out and about in this world, make sure you have Rumplemints if you're about to take a young lady out, because you might have funky breath, and that's a no-no. Because you know what it's like. I mean, I ain't going nowhere with some funky breath. But anyway, I just can't believe how much they party down there. And it comes back to the whole thing is, like, what is college really for? I mean, college is big, big, big business. And that's pretty much all it is. And that's what the college football playoff is. And we still have everybody talking about it and going absolutely buck wild. But I don't want to sit here and argue and complain about that stuff anymore. I want to look at the games. UNLV, Boise State. Big game on Friday night. I told you about Jacksonville State. That's a Friday night game as well. And let me just tell you something. That's one of my favorite bets because they played Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. They were undefeated. They played them just last week. Hilltoppers had to win to get into the championship game. They beat Jacksonville State with a 50-yard walk-off field goal to win by 2. And Jacksonville State, whose offense is really good, couldn't convert on third down. Like, for some reason, only got 3 third-down conversions the whole game. Terrible offensive output by them. Again, they came in undefeated. And now this week, they're playing each other again for the championship. And Jacksonville State's only a 5-point favorite. I think they wax Western Kentucky because their defense got lucky. On defensive third down conversion rate, they're ranked 127th in the country. How in the hell did they stop them? They ain't stopping them this week. Jacksonville State, Friday, 6 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. That's right now one of my favorite games I'm looking at. Love it, love it, love it. Friday, we also have UNLV, Boise State. That's the big one. That is the huge, huge game. Mountain West Championship, spot in the college football playoff with a bye on the line. And I think it's going to be Boise State. I love me some Genty. I love you. What? You're not talking in here to me, are you?
No, I was talking to my buddy right here. I got a buddy right here, Joe.
I did not see him hiding over there. I was like, you're speaking into the microphone, but nothing's coming out. Turn your mic on, homie. Turn your mic on, homie. My bad. But the UNLV Boise State 4-point favorite. They got the best running back. I think they win, but I don't necessarily know they'll win. But I do know one thing. They're going to score a lot. But not 58 points. Like, I know their coaches. Barry Odom's done a hell of a job over at UNLV. I mean, his little quarterback, Matthew Schluka, starts for 2 games, and then he's like, I need more money. Barry's like, peace, bruh. The new kid that's in is ridiculous. But I feel like I can see this thing being like because of Genty, just because of the talent they have, that wide receiver, I think it's Royce White III. He's ridiculous. Man, I think that both of these coaches are going to keep this thing tight, run the football, and I'm going under 58. I do like it a lot. And then I talked about the Oregon Penn State game a little bit. Is this not like I feel like Penn State is not good. Like I've watched Penn State all year long.
You also don't like their coach.
No, it's not that I don't like him. I just like Key and Peele better. You know the guy that always pretends that he looks just like James Franklin, the funny dude?
Yeah.
That dude's so funny.
He is. I forget about him, yeah.
Dude, he's so funny. But you can look through this Penn State pathetic schedule, because that's what it is. West Virginia, Bowling Green, Kent State, who's terrible, UCLA, terrible, USC, they beat by 3 in overtime. Stole it, really. USC jumped out to 17-3 lead at half, somehow blew that game. Wisconsin, whippity-doo-dah. Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland. That is just Sarmin Soft. Charmin Soft. I almost had that backwards. And you know what Ohio State did to them? Oregon, I think, is going to pull out a can of you-know-what, but the line makes me scared. And, like, sometimes I feel like Vegas does this on purpose because I thought this was going to be a touchdown, at least a 7-point line. You got Dylan Gabriel, who's been killing it. Dan Lanning's a dead-gum Jedi mind trick man. Defensive coach. I mean, Oregon's got everything. What does Penn State have and do really well? They run the damn football. I'll give you that. They can run that football. But when you look at Oregon, they do it all over. They run it, they throw it, they scheme it. I mean, you got Tez Johnson and Jordan James, Dylan Gabriel. You just trust me. This looks like a dead-gum massacre, doesn't it?
Or a trap game.
That's what the line
Makes you feel, yeah.
I mean, it looks like they're giving money away. And every once in a while they do. And also from the MGM and the FanDuel, 83% of the money right now is on Oregon money line.
As it should. At 3.5, as it should.
80% of the money on the spread is on Oregon. And let me just tell you a little something. Vegas don't like to lose. But it looked, and by the way, how come the line's not moving?
Trying to trap you, man.
So you're telling me that Oregon's going to lose the first game, like their first game of the year, and get that just sounds crazy to me.
It makes sense, though, especially how you broke it down. If Oregon is going to lose, they'll lose close. They'll lose within that 3.5. If they don't, they're going to blow Penn State out.
Man, but here's the other thing about Oregon, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. They're explosive. They're dynamic. They have the coolest uniforms. They're changing their uniforms all over the place. Have you seen their facilities?
Nike type stuff, man.
Phil Knight, founder of Nike, a former Oregon athlete. He's out there chilling. He's a huge Duck fan. And when you got Nick Saban chilling on the TV set with like Pat McAfee and Herbie and old Corso, right now I'm starting to think, with Oregon now being in the Big Ten and everything that I just said, Dan Lanning be a good coach, is Oregon maybe about to become the best of the Big Ten? I mean, Ohio State spends money, but Phil Knight, because how much would it benefit his product as well? I mean, he's going to make money. You go higher on the NIL, you spend more money than anybody else, it comes back on you, and you get the best athletes in the world. I'm just wondering that all of a sudden, you know, how Alabama was dominant and was dominating. Is Oregon maybe over the next 5-6 years going to be one of those programs?
I can see that.
I can see it too.
Before it's right now, they got to outspend Ohio State. Ohio
Hell, they
State
don't have
spends.
to. They got Ryan Day over there coaching. And the other thing, I'm just pissed bringing up that Tennessee fell 4 spots when they lost to Georgia on the road. Georgia is playing in the SEC championship game. The Ohio State Suckeyes lost to a Michigan team without a quarterback, wide receivers that run like Darian, and they
that's horrible.
lost it in their house with all that's on the line. 4 years in a row. So I ain't worried about Ohio State. Sorry, T-Money. They ain't getting it together. And then, of course, there's the Georgia game that also makes me think they're trying to trap me.
That is a trap game. That's a pseudo home game.
And how in the hell Georgia in Atlanta? What?
You've already beat them, so on and so forth. Yep.
Smacked him in the face. Had Quinn Ewers seeing like had nightmares about that Georgia front.
Trap game, baby.
I can't believe they're giving Georgia 3 points. Am I missing something? I mean, is everybody like, oh man, have you seen that new Arch like package where they get around the goal line and he comes in and runs the ball? Like, damn, it's cool and everything. And I think Arch is going to be great. It is great. And I love the touchdown that he had last week. I mean,
Ooh, it was
it was straight pimp.
It looked like Josh Allen, a precursor to Josh Allen's touchdown.
Shoot, it was
from Monday night.
it was the same. It was the same play, I believe. From I think Taylon Green did the same thing to Texas A&M that year. It's like they just went took that package and linebacker ducked down, bing bang boom. Arch is so fast, round the corner, touchdown. But I don't think that. I feel like I've never seen a setup game this big. It has me trembling. I don't even understand, man. So we have to figure this out by Friday. But I've given you what I like. I also have to say the Clemson line. Clemson +3. I mean, everything is so tight. These are championship games. I'm wondering, is Dabo going to have his dudes all lathered up? They've been here. They've actually played in big games. If you look at SMU's, I mean, if you look at SMU's schedule, they haven't been really tested.
Only beat 2 top 25 teams, Louisville and Pittsburgh, down in Dallas.
Again, both of those teams are not all that great either. Like, I just feel like they're meh. I mean, Clemson, they played some big boys. Remember when they opened up the year? They've been tested. They played Georgia. They played South Carolina. They lost both of them, though. And they lost to Louisville this year, didn't they?
Clemson,
Yeah,
I believe so.
because they had 3 losses. Damn. Now I don't know what to do. I'm confusing myself. We're going to jump off the college football game. We got to talk about the Tigers, the attendance, Penny's team, because they're ballers. We got Isaac Simpson to break that down. I'm going to ask Isaac, what's up with LeBron James, man? Did you see that trash last night?
He's 40, John.
Dude, if you want to play in the NBA, don't bring your little kid up here. Play a couple games with your little kid, and then when you're losing 40, why are you in the game jacking up 3 points? Oh, because you're trying to pad your stats, LeBron. I mean, seriously.
He's number 7 in three-point shooting from last night.
Dude, he's going to keep jacking them jumps. He had a stretch where he went 2 for 30. Did you see that? And he's just jacking shots. Anthony Davis one day just needs to go and punch him. And
I'd be glad when that happens because it'll finally be his team.
And we'll also talk about how he's a coach killer. I mean, he turned everybody off Darvin Ham last year. Did a little 8-week podcast with the coach he was replacing him with. Remember, he wanted to get Eric Spoelstra fired when he was in Miami.
Oh, yeah. Pat wasn't having that.
Pat, because he's a full-grown man. He done caved to the king. And you ain't the king, it's MJ. And I'll tell you why. We'll talk with Isaac Simpson, Tigers, Grizzlies, and what's up with LeBron James. And when are we going to get to not have to watch that terrible show? And by the way, why are you putting the Lakers on TV? Put in a team that's got some...
What, you want Utah?
I don't know. I'm Houston Rockets. Orlando. Like, get a...
Orlando
Miami.
played. They were on last night. They played in the Knicks. You called it.
That was the other night.
Was that night?
Yeah.
Oh, no. They didn't play the Knicks. They played last night, though.
Oh, no, Orlando did play the Knicks. We pounded We pounded the Knicks.
No Paolo.
Oh, man, I'm late for a break. Do me a favor, people. Don't touch the dial. Isaac Simpson's next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback, hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-sized courts, 3 high school-sized courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member in both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis. Shop Dell Technologies Cyber Monday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Cyber Monday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Coming up, an NFC North battle when Jared Goff and the 11-1 Lions host Jordan Love and the 9-3 Packers. Detroit has won 10 straight and has yet to lose a game in the division. Can Green Bay, on a 3-game winning streak of their own, put an end to both trends? Join us to find out on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bars.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It is a Thursday. That means it's a thirsty Thursday. I can't even talk today. Y'all pray for me to get through this. But you know, on Thirsty Thursday, we drink Tito's and talk with Isaac Simpson. And we're about to talk a little Tigers, some Grizzlies. And I got to ask him, of course, what up with LeBron James? When he going to retire? Like, damn, dude. Beat by, what was it, 41 or something?
It was a lot.
It was a lot. Like, I can't even remember. It was embarrassing. But he's out there late in the game still jacking them up.
He had to do it for his Heat brethren. That's what he's,
Man, they killed him. But my man Isaac Simpson, how are you doing this Thursday?
Man, can't complain, man. In a beautiful city, 901, you know how it is, man. Just out here trying to live, man.
Out there just trying to live, baby. You gotta do a little hustle out there. You know what I'm saying? That's Memphis, Maine. But people need to start hustling and buying some damn tickets because I'm very disappointed, Isaac. And again, I would have been at the game last night, people, but I was in Oxford. daughter's 21st birthday. But, man, everybody last night in Memphis just decided to stay home. And because I like this team. Only 4,889 people showed up for this team that I think is fun, exciting, and damn good. Where's the peeps?
Yeah, man, it was sad to see. I was just having a conversation with somebody about this and was talking about with somebody last night as well. Man, I remember a time where if this was a top 25 team at Memphis, they could have been playing a junior high school team, and it would have been 18,000 strong there, man. It's just different times. But that was really sad. I mean, for that team to go out and do what they did in Maui, knock off number 2 at the time, UConn, then come back and bounce back and beat Michigan State. I mean, you expected fans to come out and show up for them, and they just weren't there.
Like, I bet that, I mean, for me and for, I think, children that are, young and basketball players, and they're a little bit more even concerned about, their perception than even an old man like me, I would have been thoroughly disappointed that this city didn't show up to say, damn good job in Maui. That's just disheartening.
I mean, you could hear a pin drop in that place early on in that game. I mean, it was like, it was almost sound like there was nobody there. It was cavernous in that stadium, man. And it is sad, man, because like you said, man, I really like this team. Man, got 3 dynamic guards in that starting lineup. You got Dane Danger doing what he's doing. This is probably and I no disrespect to some of these teams the last few years, this is probably the most likable team that he's had in a while. I mean, I really like these guys, and they deserve better than that last night, man. That was really, really sad to see, and I think they kind of fed into that. I think that's why the game was so close. I think nobody was there. They kind of looked across, this is La Tech. We just got to unbeaten UConn, beat Michigan State, playing Auburn, and I think they kind of thought they could just kind of show up, and that La Tech team is solid. One thing I want to do is I want to give Kenny a lot of credit.
Al Green was still around.
Yeah, Al Green out there, man. You got to be careful with Al Green, man. Al Green wanted to come in here and get that win, man, here in Memphis. But I do want to give Penny credit, man. You look at this schedule. I mean, you go back to the exhibitions. You playing Alabama, North Carolina. Usually a team like Memphis, you're going to have 2 or 3 at least games in that non-con that just dog games where you're playing teams that are not going to do anything for you resume-wise, teams that are lower 200s and 300s in the net, and they don't have any of those on this schedule. I mean, you could see a concerted effort to not play the lower-tier teams in those conferences, but the top tier. I mean, you look at Ohio, they're picked to win the MAC. Last night, La Tech, they're picked to win CUSA. Arkansas State, that they're playing coming up this weekend, is expected to compete at or near the top of the Sun Belt. You have playing 3 SEC teams with Missouri, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. I mean, this team is their schedule is just loaded. And they've so far taken advantage. Of course, you got the games you had in Maui. Even losing to that Auburn game, I think down the line, that's not going to be a terrible loss for you. So he really loaded their schedule. But I think a lot of that kind of the struggles that we saw last night, I think it was a lack of focus. I think they looked across and saw a lot of tech after playing high-level games, and they just didn't have that focus, which can be dangerous because they're gonna have about 20 more though. Because when you look at the AAC, I mean, it is bad. I mean, we talk about this in years past, but it's even much worse than that this year. I mean, there's absolutely nothing on that conference schedule that's gonna do anything for them. So it's gonna be trap game after trap game after trap game every night. I mean, the only team that's even anything is North Texas. They're solid, but outside of that, I mean, there's just really nothing in this conference. It's kind of laughable to look back that they picked UAB to win this conference in the preseason.
I still can't believe they picked UAB and they're this bad. Again, that young fella should have come to Memphis, man.
Yeah, Luxembourg, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Should have not gone to UAB. My good man, I don't know. I'm disappointed in the fans, but I will tell you one thing. I'm not disappointed in this team, man. The way they fight, they take a punch. Last night, 63-all after a 10-0 run from La Tech. It was 7 minutes left, and then all of a sudden the guys looked at each other and was like, all right, I know there's not a big crowd out here, but they went on an 18-8 run to close the Jun out, and it was, it was easy peasy by the end of the game. It's just they didn't cover the line. But, this is a very talented team, and it's very thin. I mean, but if this team can stay healthy, Like, I saw that they could be a 2 seed. I think it was Lenardi had them as a 4 seed. Like, this could be the team that finally gets us past the first game and into the second round.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, this team, you can tell there's just something different about their demeanor, the moxie that they have. They're, like you said,
all of them are
resilient.
dogs.
Yeah, they have a team full of dogs. They're resilient. They also make free throws. Which is something
Haggerty hit all 12 last night. Yeah, outside of Moose. I said, didn't Haggerty hit all 12 of them?
Yeah, I mean, when is a team, when you go back to those games out in Maui, you had a P.J. Carter come in, I think, knock down 6 in a row in overtime to win that game. Whenever you see the Memphis team do that, like that's something that we're not used to here in Memphis, man. They make free throws, so that's just off the top is a different. But yeah, man, this team is different. Team full of dogs. They don't get too down on themselves. Last year, in these teams in the past, like when they're losing games, you're seeing them just fighting and arguing in the timeouts and just arguing on the court and seem to not be. This team seems to play for each other. You never see them get too high, too low. You don't see them bickering with each other. I mean, they really seem to like playing with each other. They're not selfish. You don't see guys trying to go one-on-one and just take over the game by themselves. I mean, I just love the way this team plays, and I think unlike last year, I think one thing about last year's team, I think Penny the team quit on him, and I think he kind of quit on him as well because I don't think that team, I think he tried to get them to play a certain way, and they just were bumping heads all year, and I think it just didn't work because Penny, his teams, he wants to start with defense, and they just didn't have the personnel to play that way last year, and I think Penny was frustrated, and I think they were frustrated with him, and I think that's kind of why I went out the rails. But this team, Penny talked about it last night, like the defense wasn't great last night. I think that was just a lack of focus because you saw when they wanted to clamp down, they clamped down. I mean, you saw what they were doing earlier in the game and late in the game. This is one of the best defensive teams in the country. And when you have guards that can play defense and score the way they can, you can really make some hay. That's why I think this team is different because of the guard play, man. They have some of the best guards in the country, man. And I think that's why they're going to be able to compete. They're just going to get better and better. Again, just have more focus. I think that's all it was last night. I'm not worried about it. Still double-digit victory against a team predicted to win a conference, so that's not bad. I mean, I can understand coming off of the games they had just played. You come into that empty building, you still, even though they're picked to win, it's still La Tech. You're not going to get up for that game the same way. So I get it. So I don't put a lot on them last night. I saw a lot of people kind of getting on them, man. You still won the game by 10. I still feel really good. Nothing has changed the way I feel about this team coming out of Maui.
Man, if everybody showed up and we had 18,000 people up in that joint, I bet those Tigers would have gone out there and smoked them by 25.
Oh, no doubt. Like I mean, it's just kind of hard, man. You playing in an empty gym like that, man. NBA arena of that size, nobody's there. It's a Wednesday night. I mean, cold outside. I mean, I can, like I said, man, I give them a pass for that last night. Still a solid Q3 win. So no problems with that. I think they'll be fine.
2022-23 team I liked a lot because I was a big fan of Kendrick Davis. Dude was just, I mean, a little Mighty Mouse out there. Like, he was fun. And I just remember when they made it to the, the field of 64 in that first game, like, we were excited. Davis is doing his thing. And then, like, with, 2 minutes left in the ball game, like, they started arguing on the sideline. Who was that, Malcolm?
Yeah.
And Kendrick? That was Malcolm and Kendrick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Malcolm and Kendrick, yeah. Malcolm pushed him in the timeout.
And I'm just like, you don't see anything like that from that team. You won't see anything like last year, like heads down, not hustling. Like, this team goes out there and gives their all. So do me a favor, give your all, and get out there and support them. Now, what's up with the Tiger football team, man?
Man, it's tough to see, man. You finish 10-2, top 25 in the college football playoff. Tulane's not even in the top 25 anymore. You knock them off on the road, and you get a trip to Frisco against a 6-6 West Virginia team. That line, I was talking about this yesterday. That line is just so thin from possibly being a college football playoff representative for the G5 and being in the conference championship game to it's almost all or nothing. You're either that or you get what we got here. And it's just kind of disappointing to me. It's good for Seth. I mean, he's going to get an opportunity to play in his backyard in the Dallas area, so he's probably excited about that. Let him go out close to home. That's cool. But it just, I don't know, man. It's just, you have these high expectations, and then if you don't reach it, you end up in some whack bowl. And another thing about this is one of the lowest payout bowls there is. So I guess it's a positive. It's a nice trip for Tiger fans. Easy trip. I think it's a game that they should win. This West Virginia team is not good. They fired their coach. This is a game I think you're probably going to have some defections from that team. There's going to be guys that they're not going to play. I think this is a game they should win, but just not exciting, man. I think Wednesday night in Frisco, Texas, man, in a soccer stadium is just not where you want to be. But I mean, shout out to Ryan Silverfield, man. Back-to-back 10-win seasons. Go down there, man, and just really put it on Tulane. I mean, from the beginning of that game, man, they just had control of that game, man. Just went down there. I think kind of shell-shocked them, man. Tulane gets to go to the...
If I remember correctly, wasn't Memphis getting, like, double-digit points, or am I crazy?
Yeah, man, it was Tulane minus 14.5.
Man.
Which, and they said that they took that personally all week, which I looked at that line, I was like, man, I get it, but not 14.5. That was always way too many points for me. I could have seen 7.5, maybe 8, 9, but 14.5 was a lot, man. And you could tell that they took that person, man. Greg DeRosier showed what he can do, man. Hopefully that's going to be a guy that comes back, man. Is going to be here for, I think he might have a couple years left of eligibility, man. He could be the lead back next year, and that showed what he could do in that game, man. He really had a big game. So, man, shout out to those guys, man, because they could have quit. They could have said, this game doesn't mean anything, but they wanted to go down there and prove, man, that, man, we might have lost a couple games, man, but we're still here. So that's a great way to go out. I mean, you wish they could have been in that conference championship game. Kind of look back, man, that INT that Hennigan threw on that drive to come back and get Navy, man. You have that one back. Looked like they were going to drive down and score. We did have a different conversation right now, but I mean, I can't discredit back-to-back 10-win seasons. I mean, you want to be in the college football playoff. You want to be in conference championship game. But I think beating Tulane, I think, makes you feel a lot better about it. They had lost that game, and you finished 9-3. I think you look at it a little bit differently. But I think going down there and winning that game, I think that optics-wise, I think that was really big.
So Tuesday, December 17th, Tiger fans, Frisco, Texas. Memphis, West Virginia, 8 o'clock if you can't make it. It's on ESPN. So we're like, 12 days away. Get in there, get in some practice, and go down and close out your season. At least you'll be off at Christmas.
Yeah, early bowl game, man, December 17th. But
man, that's the third bowl game of the year.
Yeah, I was
second.
I was really disappointed, man, because you saw those predictions of possibly Gasparilla against Florida. I was really excited about that, as I like that matchup, even though that's far away, man. Anytime you get to play an SEC team, that's much more of a measuring stick going up against a really good Florida team. And West Virginia, man, it just doesn't do much for me, man. I think it's a game they should win, but I would have liked a better opponent and definitely a better bowl, man. December 17th bowls, man, that's just not where you want to be at. I mean, but it's American, man. That's what it is. Finish 10-2, and the bowl tie-ins just aren't great. That's why you want to get out of this conference.
Do you think that we're going to still have these small bowls here in, say, 4 years?
Man, it's going to be interesting to see. I think that there are way too many, man. You have these 6-6. You shouldn't be going to a bowl at 6-6. It's just I've always felt like that. You should at least have to have a winning season to get in the bowl game. And I think they just oversaturate the market with all these bowls, man. It's way too many.
I agree with you. Isaac Simpson, we're wrapping with. Do me a favor. We're taking a quick time out on the other side. We're going to talk Grizzlies. And I'm going to ask you what's up with LeBron. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When you're working outdoors, unpredictability is the norm. So take on the toughest jobs with the 2025 Honda Pioneer 7. This rugged side-by-side is powered engine, party with reliable torque, towing, and smooth shifting for trails. And you can choose between 3 trims, standard, deluxe, and the Trim Timber Force Edition. Ultimate Mountains Adventures. See the 2025 Honda Pioneer 7 at your typical Honda Center Honda, 5657 Mill Road, or
Because it's Christmas, Family Leisure needs your help. Family Leisure has inventory that you ought to move because you know it's Christmas. So don't wait. You can complete your ultimate game room with a new pool table, a new shuffleboard, new arcade games, or theater seating, overstock, and place to move. 'Tis the season for fire pits. And all fire pits at Family Leisure are now 20 to 30% off. You say you didn't get a spa this year? Let's say no more. Spas are in stock, ready for Christmas delivery, and up to $1,500 off. These are just a few of the deals happening right now for Christmas. Just come on by and check out their gigantic showroom. You never know what kind of deal you're going to find. Family Leisure. With Road and I-40, where family and fun come together for Christmas.
Family Leisure, 2120 Whitman Road in Memphis, right off I-40.
Did you know the PayPal debit card now earns you 5% cash back in the monthly category of your choosing? Groceries, restaurants, health, beauty, gas, and apparel on up to $1,000 of monthly purchases. I'm using my PayPal debit card to earn 5% cash back on apparel. With my travel schedule, I'm buying clothes online all the time. Sign up for the PayPal debit card through the new app.
Terms apply. See PayPal app. This card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A., pursuant to license by MasterCard International, Inc.
The holidays are near, and Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Generators is here to make this season extra cozy and cheerful. For the first 50 customers who purchase a new Carrier system, tankless water heater, or a whole home generator, we have a special gift for you. Choose from a $500 gift card or 60 months no interest financing. And don't forget about Choate's Refer a Friend referral program, where you could earn up to $500. Simply refer a friend to use our services, and if they become a customer, you could earn up to a $500 Visa gift card. But hurry, this festive offer will only last through December 20th. Visit ChoatesHVAC.com or call 347-8086 to schedule your free estimate today. And turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family this holiday season.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a Thursday, always brought to you by the best. That's Tito's Handmade Vodka, crafted and distilled in the United States down in Austin, Texas, 6 times distilled, then distilled in classic copper pots. Old school, unique style. That's why it has such a unique flavor, slightly sweet with that black pepper note. It balances everything out. You could be crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Tito's. Get your Tito's on today. Now, it's time to talk with my buddy Isaac Simpson first and foremost. What? Oh, man, sorry. Text message just came in. I'll have to address this a little bit later if it's real, but I got to do a little researching, so sorry about that. I got a small brain today. Now, we got to talk about LeBron James and the Grizzlies. And the first thing I wanted to bring up, though, Isaac, like LeBron, they say he's, the GOAT, he's the king. But right now, he seems like a stat-stuffing fool that can't win a game and a coach killer to me. I know that sounds terrible, but he's played 8 more years than MJ, Les rings. Last night, he's in a game that's, what was it, 40? Was it a 41 point? Looking up that damn score because my computer don't work. They got blown out, and he was still in the fourth quarter jacking up shots, going out there and padding his stats.
You got a 40 piece. You got 93, 134.
Yeah, 41.
Man, dude, look at me remembering things. I just know I was really drunk watching those games at Funky's last night. But, I'm just being serious, and this is going to be another crazy thing. Did you see his plus-minus on the year? He's negative.
I have not.
Negative 137.
Wow.
Negative 132, sorry.
Isaac John doesn't realize he's 40.
Also, by the way, okay, here. When his finals performances are also pathetic, even though he had super teams, and I'll give you actually the stats and the facts to prove it. At age 22, when he was not 40, 2007 finals, -4, plus minus. 26, 2011 finals, -36. Now, at age 27, he went out there in 2012 and was plus 34. That's Thank goodness you're doing something. 28, 2013 finals. Plus minus was absolutely zero. Didn't go one way or the other. And then at 29 in the 2014, he was a plus minus negative 47. 30, negative 25 in the 2015, 2016 finals. The only other plus he has, and that was plus 26 when he was 32, negative 7. At 33, negative 60. At 35, plus 36. For a grand total of, in his finals appearance, he is negative 86 in his plus minus. Don't even, man, he ain't no GOAT.
Damn, who numbers are those? Bimbo Coles? Like, my goodness.
I mean, seriously, like you call him
Hey,
a kid.
man, I'm a Jordan as a GOAT guy. I am that, but I can't discredit LeBron and what he's accomplished. I think you got to be to your point. I don't know what he has left to prove. Is my thinking about what's going on right now. I don't know what he has left to prove. I think him going out there, and people kind of get mad when I say this, but I think he's damaging his legacy. I mean, because he just playing on these teams, and Lakers have no chance of winning the title. They're not going to the finals. They're not going to do anything. They'll probably make the playoffs, but I mean, what is he going to prove? Like, and I've heard him say that he's going to play possibly 2 or 3 more years after this. That's kind of what I've heard. I just don't know what the purpose is at this point.
I mean, by the way, the other thing is, like I said, he is a coach killer. Think about it. He wanted to get rid of Eric Spoelstra. You know what he did in Cleveland. And then, of course, he turns the team on Darvin Ham. And then this is kind of like think about this, though. There's one thing. J.J. Redick has multiple 25-point losses this year. But the one thing is, no matter how bad things are, J.J. Redick probably ain't going to get fired because he's LeBron's homie. And it's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, you let him run, when you let, like, the inmates run the insane asylum.
Yeah.
It's going to go south, and he's running everything in L.A., and it ain't working.
And nobody believe. I mean, you believe the fact he said he had no input on that hire. Like, that's what, like, anybody believes that, man. I got oceanfront property in Orange Mound to tell you right now. If you think he had no input on that hire. Like, I'm like, why'd you even come out and say that, man? Nobody believes that.
That's the funniest thing. I got to use that one. I got oceanfront property in Orange Mound. That's beautiful. I love it. But literally, it's just crazy to me, and I can't believe he's continuing to go out there and just, I don't know. I mean, if you're playing the fourth quarter of a 41-point game, padding your stats, like, obviously, maybe you should hustle, because did you see some of the defense times? Like, he just walked up the court. And
oh, yeah, but it wasn't just him. It was the entire team. I mean, some of that, that was just ridiculous. There was one play, I think that was Duncan that had the ball. Duncan Robinson had the ball under the goal. He was just standing under the goal wide open and then decided to pass it out. I don't know who that was, kicked it out and somebody hit a three. But he was just standing wide open under the goal, and nobody was even guarding him. Like, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they just quit, but that looked bad last night. I mean, they started out the season, looked like they were going to be pretty good. Like J.J. Redick was doing a good job, and now they've just fallen off the rails. I know people, Austin Reeves wasn't playing, and I saw Laker fans freaking out saying that they can't win without Austin Reeves. If that's where you are right now, man, you're in a bad spot. You got LeBron and AD out there, and you're talking about you can't win without Austin Reeves. Like, I don't even know what to say about that.
All right, Grizzlies play tonight at the Grind House. They're a 3.5-point favorite. And I'll tell you one thing, I bet you there's going to be a fat crowd at this Grizzlies game, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that you hope. Because this team is playing really well. We got to talk about the Dallas game. Man, I don't know what it is about Dallas, but they just can't beat that team. I think Ja is like 1-6 or 1-7 against Luka in his career. The times they've matched up, and looked like they were going to get the job done, man. And that was just an egregious fourth quarter. I know that they had a record amount of free throws.
39 points, I think, to Dallas, and didn't score. They might have got to 20. I mean, it was embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, they had a record amount of free throws, but I don't blame that game on the refs. There's some egregious fouls. I mean, some of the stuff like the Marcus Smart foul, just reaching in on Luka, and then he had to play where he was trying to save the ball from out of bounds where he could have just let it go. There was just a lot of Jaren Jackson Jr. just really struggled down the stretch of that game. They just absolutely blew that game. I know a lot of times we talk about the officiating, how crazy that was. I don't blame it on the officials. I also don't blame it on Taylor Jenkins. There are a lot of times where Taylor Jenkins kind of blows games down the stretch for his team himself, but I think he coached a really good game in this game. I don't think it was his fault at all, man. I think you just put this one on the players. Everybody outside of Josh just went completely brain dead in that fourth quarter, man. I could feel it coming. As soon as Dallas got in the penalty, I kept saying, I'm like, they're going to lose this game. I could just feel the vibes weren't right. I could just tell. I could just see it happening,
Even
man.
with that 15-point lead, like I know for me, I'm sitting there going, damn, they got a 15-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Yeah, going to get a cup win, even though it's on an ugly court. And that was
terrible court.
Man, that was terrible, wasn't it? But they just, I don't even know what the hell happened in that fourth quarter, honestly.
Yeah, man. I mean, just Dallas living at the free throw line, and Grizzlies just lack of execution and just making bonehead plays. You could just tell that they got tight and just salted that thing away, man. That's probably one of the worst collapses I've ever seen in a quarter. I mean, I don't even know what happened. They were just looking like a well-oiled machine, man, in that third quarter, and they just completely lost it in that fourth quarter. Like I said, everybody outside of Ja just did a piss-poor job. I mean, in that fourth quarter, and they didn't have anybody to blame but themselves. But I think that's why they're going to come out and play really well tonight, man. They definitely need to bounce back, and you're at Boston on Saturday, so you definitely want to get this one on the home court because that's another place where they really struggle and just never seem to be able to find a way to win. So they definitely need to get this one tonight against Sacramento.
Is Zach Edey going to be back for the next game?
You hope so. They've listed he's out tonight. You just never know with the Grizzlies. Just when it comes to injuries, man, you just have to take it as the day comes, man. You just never know how they're going to handle these things. Taylor Jenkins said that he should be back sometime by the end of this week. So got two games. Got a game at Boston on Saturday, at Washington on Sunday. So hopefully you get him back. Hopefully you get him back for Saturday night because I think they're going to need all hands on deck. So that'd be nice to see if they could have the big guy out there in Beantown.
Man, last question for you. Who got tonight, Packers or Lions? Detroit's a 3-point favorite.
Man, I want to say the Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions, but because of that Packers team could go in there and get a big win, man. That would be huge for them in that division. But I'm going to stick with the Lions. I think the Lions are the versatility, the way that they can throw the football and run the football. Those two running backs with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they're just a hard team to defend, man. And that home crowd really gets behind them. I think the Lions won a close one, but if the Packers go in there and pull the upset, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Jordan Love is tough as nails, man. I'm a big fan of his. He made a big believer in me out of the playoffs, man. What he did to my Cowboys in that playoff series and what he did down the stretch last year. I mean, he's a legit player, man. So that's going to be a great game. You don't usually get a lot of good games on Thursday night. I think this is one of the best ones we've seen in a while, man. So I'm ready for it. But give me the Lions in a close one.
Follow Isaac at Isaac, _NBA. Tell me a little something. What you got coming down the pipe?
Yeah, man, just taking a break right now, man. But definitely got some things coming into the new year. 2025 is going to be a good year. Definitely got some things coming, so be on the lookout. Like you said, Isaac, _NBA.
Be blessed, big homie. We'll do it again next Thursday.
We'll talk to you next week.
That's my buddy Isaac Simpson. We're late for a break. You know the sweet Evie Van Pelt from the RebelWalk.com. She's on the other side. Hot and Todd, it's time to talk about them Rebels. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Make this a magical Christmas with help from Genesis Diamonds. Step into a world of luxury beyond. At Genesis, we have what women love, from simple diamond stud earrings to amazing Royal designer bracelets. And you can't miss our best air selection of luxury pre-owned watches. And for the entire December, Genesis is making everything affordable with 5 years, 0 interest financing. Just diamond increase by 60. And let your baby or showcases with your work sports the diamond rings, earrings, and bracelets, bands. And this gives you exquisite craftsmanship and lasting value. All of our exclusive designers are showcasing your latest creations. And our penetration experts will help you pick out your gifted shirt and cares to her eyes on Christmas morning. So come see us at Genesis for the most romantic and memorable gift of the season. Get holiday store hours, directions, and finance details at GenesisDiamonds.com. Genesis Diamonds, luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Popular Perkins Extended. See store for details.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday, happy hour from 3 to 6. $1 off all draft beer, $5 off will drinks, $4.50 for house wine, and Outback pretzels, mozzarella sticks, queso, $4 a
high-energy, full-body workout that utilizes the same equipment and technology employed by Floyd Mayweather to achieve his impressive 50-0 record. The workout features 4 types of heavy bags, treadmills, rollers, battle ropes, weights, and much more. Visit Mayweather Boxing and Fitness, located at 2257 North Germantown Parkway in Cordova. Train like a champ. Mayweather Boxing and Fitness. 901-673-1267.
What a great time of year. Football, basketball, baseball, golf, and home sales. Home sales? This is Sheldon Rosengard from Boss Ben's North Realtors. Why did I throw in home sales at this time of year? Because I have sold homes on the day before Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day. Whether it's someone transferring in through a relocation network or someone just starting their home search, homes sell all year long, just like my golf game being banned all year long. I may be called Mr. Three-Putt, but at least I'm consistent. If you or someone you know is thinking of selling, make sure and talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure I'm one of them. Find out how my highly successful strategic marketing program can get the winning score you need. Call me and find out why people often say when you want the job done, call Shell Done. 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. Go for that goal and call me. Shell Done at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com.
This is Original Sports Station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis.
That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a thirsty Thursday, and it's always brought to you by the best, and that's Tito's Handmade Vodka. Speaking of the best, and your number one source for all things Ole Miss, that would be the rebelwalk.com, the founder, the publisher, and the sweetest person in the whole world, the great Evie Van Pelt. She joins us now. Evie, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Had a great signing day yesterday for Ole Miss with a little bit of drama there, but I'm doing great otherwise. Thanks for having me.
And I haven't asked you in a while. Everything, you back to normal? You rolling and you down there rolling?
I am. I'm rolling like a son of a gun.
No pain.
No pain.
No pain. Yes.
No pain. Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, the first thing I have to bring up to you, I'm so happy for you and David, and I just love you all to death. It's the holiday season. I'm in a great mood. But there is a little bit of heartbreak and disappointment and reflection and kind of look back at what this class, this team, this schedule they had. I mean, if you told me that they were going to drop Georgia and South Carolina on the road before the season, I would have said, oh, damn, they in. But we lost a Florida team that was totally different from the very beginning of the year. DJ Lagway, was playing extremely well. The Kentucky one, still stings. And, it's college football. But Lane Kiffin went out there and put it all out on the line on the X yesterday. I absolutely love it. I'm just kind of curious what everybody over the Rebel Walk thinks.
Well, I tell you what, we agree with Lane, and I thought one of the things for folks, I'm sure everybody knows, but Lane has really taken issue with a lot of what's going on with the CFP rankings, and of course the Rebels in at number 13 right now, and Miami ahead of them, Alabama at 11, and South Carolina at 14. And Lane did a lot of lobbying, I thought, before the rankings came out, basically talking about South Carolina. I think, and who knows? I mean, that really went out there and kind of went viral, that we beat them head to head, and why would they possibly jump us? Right. And he said, we whipped them. And he said, if we were playing, we're probably still scoring touchdowns on them. And so I thought that was kind of funny. He told us that in his Sunday night little Zoom with local media, and just said, if that were to happen, why do we even play the games if you beat somebody head to head? So that didn't happen. They didn't jump Ole Miss. However, I think he takes issue with some of the teams that are ahead of Ole Miss and some of the teams with obviously weaker, schedules. And he just says, week in, week out in the SEC, much less going on the road to some of these SEC venues, all these SEC venues. I mean, South Carolina is a tough place to play. There's really not a tough place to play in the SEC, and especially at night. And so he commented yesterday in our signing day press conference. He didn't want to get into it. He wanted to focus on the players, but somebody, kind of pressed him a little bit, and he just said, somebody gave me a list of the people on the committee, and he said, I want to know if any of them have ever been down south to a game in one of these SEC stadiums at night. And he's really talked a lot about that. And I think, Rebels everywhere are just going, heck yeah.
I think one of my favorite things, though, is when he just he was commenting on to somebody out there on Twitter who said, like, best wins for Miami was like Louisville and Duke, and then Ole Miss is Georgia, South Carolina. Double-digit wins, Miami 7, Ole Miss 9. Average scoring margin, Ole Miss plus 24, Miami plus 17. Wins handed by replay officials, Miami 2, Ole Miss 0. Because Miami really should have 4 losses. I mean, let's be real. That Cal comeback was BS. They got bailed out twice by the officials. And then Lane quote tweeted the guy and said, you guys actually meet for days and come up with these rankings? Does the college football playoff actually watch football, the quality of players, the teams, the road environment? And he just went on and on and on. I was like, damn, go get him, Lane.
And his thing he's been saying, too, is spot the ball. Like, just tell us where to play, and we'll go up against anybody. And so I saw an ACC Barstool account, tweeted him and said, the ACC is undefeated 2-0 against teams you lost to, blah, blah, blah. And then Kiffin wrote back, and that's what he tweeted, blah, 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 spot the ball anywhere, and then put the graphic of the scores, Ole Miss 43-24 over Louisville, 42-0 over Georgia Tech, 48-23 over Georgia Tech in 2023. So, I mean, he posted all these, scores, but it just made me laugh, the blah, 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 so he definitely has some points. And, he told us when we went to the 12-team playoff, he said, rather prophetically, the people right there on the edge left out, number 13, number 12, whatever, are going to be upset. And so here we go. But I thought it was interesting. He actually quote tweeted the Rebel Walk this morning where
Go
we had
Lane.
said, yay, go Lane, and put hashtag come to the SIP because, he's just talking about this is kind of a segue, I guess, into recruiting, but this is the best class, the ones they signed yesterday. Of course, there's still a couple of more we're going to wait on to see this week if they might commit to Ole Miss. One of them has a signing day today, Connor Howes, who has been in Arkansas, commit, but there's a lot of talk he may flip that to Ole Miss.
Speaking of flipping, I got a question for you.
Oh yeah.
What about the whole Tyler Lockhart saga that went down yesterday?
Goodness. Okay. Well, the first thing I was struck by is Tyler Lockhart at his commitment ceremony, and you've probably seen the video or photos of it when after he has taken off his jacket and, he's got the Ole Miss shirt underneath, and his parents look so mad and upset, and I just thought, come on, people. I mean, I had a daughter that committed to play volleyball at Ole Miss. And that's just like the best day of your life when your child, I mean, I graduated from A&M. I didn't care where she was signing. I was excited she was signing somewhere, and that she was happy. So that really struck me as a parent, just how hard that had to be on that kid, that there are these parents there that, again, I can't really get into their head and say what they were thinking, but they surely looked like they were not pleased. And so the next thing we know,
everybody I think could tell that they weren't happy. I mean,
right. I mean, it just, yeah. So it's you don't have to be a psychologist, I guess, to see that. But so he commits to Ole Miss, and Now, I was updating. We had a signing day headquarters, so I'm updating our list just as soon as we get the word from Ole Miss. So even when the kid commits, and if I see a commit with my own eyes, I don't post it until Ole Miss officially posts it, because we've had just weird things happen. Weird things happen. Well, Ole Miss finally posted Lockhart on the signing day commits, put out the graphics. So I'm like, okay, we're good to go. So we add him to the list. We release our info. And then about 8 o'clock last night, things got weird. And we started, we saw, well, at one point, Jeff Lebby tweets, the guy sitting up out of the coffin, like we're not dead. He tweets that, and we're like, uh-oh, what's going on? And then later State released a tweet, basically saying Lockhart is a Bulldog. So all I can
dog
say
or a rebel,
is
dog or a rebel, dog
or a rebel. That's right. And I tell you, and now, as of right now, as we're talking on Thursday at 12:15, he is on the Mississippi State roster. Ole Miss removed him from the signing day list. I can tell you,
God, his mom and dad went home and beat him, didn't they?
Well, and here's the thing. He has a brother that is on the Mississippi State football team, and I think that
they want their brothers to play together.
I think that, but, and I don't want to impugn anybody here, but I would imagine there was pressure from Mississippi State. The brother, I don't think, is the level, at the level of this 4-star, younger brother. So I think there might have been some pressure. I'm not going to say they threatened to pull his scholarship or anything, but, stranger things have happened. This whole thing is just very weird. Recruiting gets weird, especially nowadays. But the one thing I can tell you, and then after all that, then the kid who, even when all that was going on, he still had his Ole Miss commitment thing graphic up on his Twitter. And then finally later he tweeted, my bad, with the little laughing, like, crying. I know, and I'm like, to me, the my bad, I'd rather him just issue a statement and just kind of come clean and say, here's what happened. I mean, there was talk that Mama refused to sign the papers. But then, I know the Ole Miss folks, and I know how on top of compliance and all sorts of things they are, because they have to be, because let's face it, the NCAA, camped out in Oxford for I don't know how long. So I just think, back in the freeze days. So I just think Ole Miss dots their I's and crosses their T's. And there was talk that, well, Ole Miss didn't get the signature from Mama. Well, Ole Miss isn't posting anything unless they have, what they think they need. So, I don't know, and a kid's 17. At the end of the day, he can't do anything without parents' legal signature. So I don't know there, but I tell you what, I think the difference, this is what is so interesting to me, is the difference in where Ole Miss is now compared to where they were when Lane got there. Because I tell you what, 5 years ago, Ole Miss fans would have been melting down. I mean, understandably so, and I would have too, if we would have lost a 4-star linebacker. Oh, yeah. But now I feel like Mississippi State is so irrelevant in the state of Mississippi right now. This is their big win. They're not winning the Egg Bowl. They're not winning, what are they, 2-10 or whatever, they're not winning on the field. And so they got a little win yesterday. I feel like
he might be a rebel here once his brother graduates from Mississippi State and's done with his football career.
I absolutely agree. And, so to me, I feel like, State got that, but, the poor kids now got to go play for a 2-10 team. And Ole Miss, I feel like Lane, I'm going to tell you, yesterday at Lane's press conference, Lane seemed locked in to me. I'm telling you, Lane is locked in. And if any behind-the-scenes shenanigans did go on, which I'm not saying they did, with the Lockhart situation, I think Lane is going to be all over that, and State and Jeff Lebby will be in Lane Kiffin's sights. And I don't know that you want to be there, because look at what happened to Jimbo. I think that's not where you want to be. But anyway, Lane just seems so locked into me. And he even said, talking about the in-state kids, because let's not forget, Ole Miss did sign Caleb Cunningham, the number one recruit in the
Is he the number 2 wide receiver in the country?
In the entire country.
By the way, I got a question real quick because I just thought about this. Austin Simmons, I'm already looking at the future right now. Lane already signed him a wide receiving class. He loaded up yesterday, so he's got some guns for Austin Simmons.
Yes, he does. You're absolutely right. And so I think that, he ended up signing a 5-star and 3 4-stars. And, to me, that's, good grief. We hadn't seen that kind of level in a while. And I'm really glad. So he did get Winston Watkins, who, had not been a verbal commit. So that was fantastic that we got him. And, so definitely the wide receiving core is there for Austin Simmons. If I'm Austin Simmons,
I'm not leaving.
I'm not going anywhere. And Dylan Alfred, we got him. He was another 4-star from Mississippi. And, and Samari Reed, another 4-star. So if I am him, I am looking at those guys. I'm looking at, Caden Lee coming back. We've still got Aiden Williams on the roster. And he's a fantastic wide receiver who just, hadn't, with the depth that Ole Miss had, ahead of him, just hadn't had a chance to get in. But he's fantastic also. So definitely, I'm with you. I think the future is bright. I'm bummed by the playoff situation.
Yeah,
I think Ole Miss
it's going to sting for a while.
It is. And Ole Miss, you will never convince me that they are not one of the top 12 teams in college football. And, definitely, you go back to that Kentucky loss. I do too. That's going to haunt
that miracle
all of us.
Play on 4th down where he just threw the ball down the field. And I still can't believe it.
I can't either. And I just wish, folks could, some of the folks at other schools who are throwing that, well, you lost to Kentucky. Well, at the time, you're right. They weren't, it's not like they obviously didn't end up being a great team, but remember, they played Georgia to 1 point. They lost to Georgia by 1. And then, like you mentioned, talking about Florida, that loss, they are a completely different team with DJ Lagway at the helm of that team. And I think some other teams, had they played them with DJ Lagway, it might have been a little bit different. But it's frustrating. And, another interesting thing Lane said yesterday is fans may have to get used to the idea that going forward with all this parity that is in football now and money and NIL and transfers every year, you may have to get more used to 3-loss SEC teams and 3-loss SEC teams being in, the playoffs or in a title game or whatever, especially, adding Oklahoma and Texas into the mix also. So Lane just said this is a totally different league. And he said that. He said, and I mean a league. I don't mean a conference. He said, you've got the NFL. You've got the SEC,
I love this.
a couple of Big Ten teams, and then everybody else, and it's like they are in a different league.
It really is, and it's just wild. And again, Jackson Dart had an amazing season. That final drive against Florida, him going up to the podium and owning it. It was heart-wrenching watching that. But he just, that was a terrible game. Comes back, takes care of things at Mississippi State. And I heard he just won a trophy.
Yes, he did. He just won the Connerly Trophy for the best collegiate player in the state of Mississippi. And he was there in Flowood, actually. They had the ceremony there, and Charlie Weiss was there with him, his offensive coordinator. And I just think Jackson, boy, if anybody ever came from someplace far away like the West Coast to the state of Mississippi and adapted and fell in love with it and with the people, it would be Jackson. I think he wears his heart on his sleeve, and I'm happy to see him get that award. He passed Eli Manning in career total yards at the end of the season, and so that was cool. Can you imagine that? I passed Eli Manning. In anything, that's pretty impressive. And so it's going to be it's going to be interesting, moving forward without him. But David and I were talking about it just yesterday. The mentality, normally when you have a 3-year starter and he's gone, and then you've got a backup that's a younger guy, you're like, well, hopefully he'll work out. We saw Austin Simmons come in against Georgia and literally take over and do so under pressure when Ole Miss was down 7-0. It wasn't like the game was out of reach. It wasn't like, that drive he orchestrated
and
was
the fourth
beautiful.
down he converted.
The fourth down slant. I will not ever get over that. Just tremendous job under pressure. And that's something that, you and I have talked about before that Kiffin has noted. Kiffin has watched Austin pitch in baseball, and he said that kid is built different. He said to be able to go out there on the mound in front of thousands of screaming
17
SEC
years
fans.
old.
Yeah, he said that's just he's built different. And absolutely, I think we saw that when he came in against Georgia. And, we put that, you and I talked about it last time. We put that interview out with him. And besides, he has the funniest, not funny, weird, but funny. It's just, he has this deep voice for this young guy. And just cool as he can be. Cool as the other side of the pillow. And so really looking
and
forward.
He's just smart, doesn't do anything bad. I mean, I was down in Oxford last night on a Wednesday night, my daughter's 21st birthday celebration.
Oh, yay.
And the square is absolutely packed, and everybody's going I was shocked. I was like, damn, it's Wednesday night, and this place is bumping wall to wall. Every bar you went to, it was fun, it was great, but there weren't any football players out. Reese came up there, took a couple pictures with Savannah, and then Reese left and went back to Jackson Dart's house. They weren't going out and partying. You didn't see no football players out last night, which was kind of also a little shocking since their season's over. But he said they were going back to put in some work over at Dart's house, and I was like, damn. All right, I like to hear that.
Well, and it's interesting because Lane talked about that also yesterday about lost in all this should not be the fact that if Ole Miss can win its bowl game, that would put them at 10 wins for the season. And, to have been, 3 out of the last 4 having 10 wins, that's huge. And also, as we talked about before, if they can get to 10 wins this season, that would be back-to-back 10-win seasons, 11 last season. But the first time that's happened since 1959 and 1960 when Johnny Vaught was there. So I just think that that's a huge accomplishment. And so while we're all, some people every now and then have alluded to it, we're all so sick over being so close to the playoffs and this roster and the last dance and all of that. But we also have to keep in mind, we are all mad that we're 9-3, potentially 10-3, and so how quickly the culture has changed. Like Lane said, we didn't come here to be good. We came here to be great.
This ain't Ed Orgeron teams.
No, it's not. And so for the fan base to be upset at a 9-3 season, I mean, that is pretty impressive to me and something to see. And I really am telling you, Lane was locked in yesterday. Lane got a very, very good signing class. And we're not even to the portal yet. So the portal opens next week on the 9th. So, I look for him to, as Coach Yo said, do some damage.
I know Leanne and you are going to be busy from this to all the way to the portal. Plus, you got Chris Beard tearing up basketball. But one other football question. I got to know, the one thing that stuck out for me when I was at the Egg Bowl, I was like, damn, there's Ulysses Bentley the fourth on the field. And he's running great. I'm like, where was he? In the Florida game, and why have they been hiding him all year?
I tell you, that's the $1 million question, and I know a lot of Rebels think that was the difference, perhaps, between making the playoffs and not. When we saw him break loose in the Egg Bowl for that touchdown, there was a tweet yesterday. You know how they do those? Somebody will take the video and they calculate how fast they're running, and he was at 20.7 miles per hour. He was moving. 20.7 miles per hour. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions there because, we were told it is not an off the field issue. Kids got great character, didn't do anything, wasn't in the doghouse. And so that would make you think it's a football reason. Well, those football reasons ran all over Mississippi State. So, I'm with you there. I don't know that we'll ever get the answer to that. Hopefully at some point, some of his folks reached out to us about doing a video interview with our Dalen Flowers, who interviewed Austin Simmons. So if that happens, I will definitely let you know.
Ole Miss basketball and Chris Beard, 23rd in the country right now. Tell me a little bit about basketball. I hadn't even got to pay attention. And, man, y'all are coming to Memphis here in, end of the month, playing the Tigers.
Yes. Yeah, well, I tell you what really sticks out to me. Now they were in California recently and split, 1-1, but at the end of that Purdue game, my goodness, that was a close one. But what really stuck out to me, did you get a chance Tuesday to see him play Louisville? And
oh, yes.
Oh my goodness, 86-63 win at Louisville. And I just think that was a big win. The Rebels jumped in the net rankings, I think, from 55 all the way up to 27. That was the biggest jump this week in the net rankings. I mean, that is huge. So Chris Beard is got it going on. I don't even know if you saw the tweet, and I think Ole Miss basketball posted it, of Chris Beard in the locker room with him afterwards. And it was basically like, you don't want to, you can't just celebrate one win. I mean, it's a long season, and then he starts dancing and singing with them, and it was really cute. And they were also excited after that Louisville win. So I just think they had a really balanced offensive attack. In the second half of that game, Ole Miss shot 63.3%. That's their best percentage and a half this season. They also, down low, Ole Miss scored a season best 48 points in the paint. Louisville only scored 28. 5 Rebels were in double figures. So, I think they're, let's watch, I say it every year. I tell my daughter, we're going to be great this year in basketball. And she's like, Mom, like calm down, simmer down. And then the SEC play hits and then it's kind of rough, but I'm really excited about watching them this season.
And you know what else is also just kind of crazy when you think about it? Like when they do start SEC play, again, it's kind of like the thing with Lane Kiffin and the football team. I mean, you got Tennessee and Auburn and Florida and Kentucky and Alabama. Like, this SEC basketball season's also locked and loaded.
It really is. David and I were talking about that the other day when Ole Miss was still in the 50s in the net rankings. And we were going through the net rankings. And even though that was in the top 64 in the country, there were like 12 SEC teams ahead of that, so it's like that, 13 SEC teams there, right there. I mean, that was insane. But it's interesting. I'm sure, the SEC went 14-2 in the SEC ACC challenge.
Yeah.
And
there were some beatdowns. And then,
there were some
Clemson, though, nipped Kentucky, which is also another thing because Memphis is playing Clemson too. So, that's the only one thing that I actually kind of like because it helps Clemson look a little bit better.
Right. So, the women take on NC State tonight and the women's
Where is
SEC.
Coach Hill? Are they in Paris? Are they in, Hawaii, south of France?
No, they're not. They are going to be playing the Wolfpack in Raleigh. So, they're in Raleigh tonight, and they will tip off, I believe, at 6:00. They're number 18 in the country, 5-2, so they're getting it done. The Wolfpack are number 24, so
that's going to be a nice game.
It's going to be on ESPN2 tonight, so folks can tune into that, and I think Ole Miss is, she's added some good freshmen, got some great transfers, has, of course, Madison Scott and KK Deans Kennedy Todd Williams returning, and that's going to be another one. I mean, I think basketball this season, both men and women, will be fun for Ole Miss fans to watch.
So I know you got the RebelWalk.com. It's your number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. You got Twitter at the Rebel Walk. Follow Evie at Ole Miss Evie. You also got YouTube dropping all over the place. What are y'all doing over at the Rebel Walk right now? What can we go look and find?
Well, I tell you what, keep an eye out. We do have a summary of everybody that signed yesterday on our signing day headquarters page, and folks can read their bios and check out some highlights of each player. We've got interviews. We've been interviewing some of these commits, and so we're going to have articles coming out on them. So keep an eye out on that, just kind of their thoughts and what they were thinking on signing day, arguably the biggest day of a lot of these kids' lives. We'll have coverage of men and women's basketball and maybe even a little volleyball, because Ole Miss women's volleyball are in the NCAA tournament. So that has not happened in quite some time. So that's going to be fun to watch.
I'll tell you one thing. Volleyball has never, ever been popular, but ever since, I guess it was in Nebraska that played in like that huge arena. It seems like now you're, when you're doing a little channel serving, like they're always showing it on ESPN.
They are, and it was, I think didn't they convert the football stadium into,
that's what
they had a volleyball, and it was packed. Yeah, that was something else. And Nebraska is just a preeminent, team in the nation. And now Ole Miss again has made the NCAA tournament for the first time in quite some time. They play number 7 Florida State today, actually at 4:30. So we will have some coverage on that. I think it's streaming on ESPN Plus. But good job. Bree Henry is the head coach. She's in just her second year there. And so hopefully we'll have a little bit of coverage of that also.
I'm telling you, if you just listen to Evie, you can tell why the Rebel Walk is your number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. She's on top of it all. Evie, I hope you have some wonderful holidays, some great times. Tell David I said what up. And, man, if you can get to Memphis for that Ole Miss game, we got a spot for you.
Ooh, okay. I think I'm going to work on that. That would be awesome.
Well, you have a blessed day, and I hope I see you when Memphis and Ole Miss go down. That's the great Evie Van Pelt. Now, also got to tell y'all something, people. I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm doing today? I'm going to Los Cabos because I love sports, and I love Mexican food. And that's the best of both worlds at Los Cabos right there at Summer and Graham. It's Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. And you know what else is dope over there? From 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, they got lunch specials every day from $7 to $11. How you like me now? Happy hour. From 3 to 8. Solid 5 hours worth of drinking, baby. Man, they got premium tequila over there, too. You bougie? I'm bougie. Get that good tequila. Say, hey, what up, Don Julio? Give me a little Don. Come on, Don. Man, I'm telling you, just go over to Los Cabos, right there at Summer at Graham. That's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Hardwood on the other side. Speaking of food, I got a food announcement that I'm absolutely furious about. Earlier when I got a text,
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said you had to kind of
it just
go
caught
through
me
it.
off.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'll tell you all about it on the other side. Don't touch it out. Sports 6, 98.5 FM.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
Because it's Christmas, Family Leisure needs your help. Family Leisure has inventory that you have to move because it's Christmas. So don't wait. You can complete your ultimate game room with a new pool table, a new shuffleboard, new arcade games, or just get all of them for Christmas. Tons and tons of theater seating, overstock, and place to move. 'Tis the season for fire pits. And all fire pits at Family Leisure are now 20 to 30% off. You say you didn't get a spa this year? Let's say no more. Spas are in stock, ready for Christmas delivery, and up to $1,500 are just a few of the deals happening right now for Christmas. Just come on by and check out their gigantic showroom. You never know what kind of deal you're going to find. Family Leisure. With weather I-40 for family and fun come together for Christmas.
Family Leisure, 2120 Whitney Road in Memphis, right off I-40.
There's no difference from being more versatile and more meaningful. Social just for December, we're offering 5 years, 0 interest financing on any holiday purchase. With a special offer, everything's affordable. Just pick any item, divide the price by 60, and match your payment. So come to Genesis Diamonds. Let our experts help you choose the perfect headliner gift present. And spread your payments over 5 years. Get holiday store hours, directions, and finance details at GenesisDiamonds.com. Happy holidays with Genesis Diamonds. Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got my man Darian hanging out with me.
Hey, I got some news for you, too.
What is it?
92,003 fans were at that Nebraska volleyball game you and Evie were just talking about.
Damn, bro.
Yep.
I love, by the way, over at Toby Park, do you know to where Toby Park is right there across the street from Liberty Bowl?
Okay, yeah.
Kind of catty cornered. Mm-hmm. That's where the old men baseball leagues play every Sunday. And there's also a volleyball court right next to it. Bro, let me see your thong, dong, 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 dong. Man, one day I was out, I couldn't even pay attention. I'm like standing in the outfield going, bro, check that out. It was the man volleyball.
All in the outfield being a liability and whatnot.
I love me a little bit. I love me a little bit of that volleyball. Now, got to tell you, if you want a perfect finish every time, where do you go? You go to Rick's, man. That's Rick's Powder Coating. Go to rickspowdercoating.com. It is not paint. Don't paint. Why would you paint? Powder coat. It lasts like forever, bro. It looks great. And if it's steel, metal, it'll stick, and it'll be there for in perpetuity, bro. 901-367-2771, or just go to rickspowdercoating.com for a perfect finish every time. It's Rick's. And now, until December 31st, powder coat your table, 4 chairs, and get an umbrella stand powder coated absolutely free. How you like me now? rickspowdercoating.com. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Dude, I'm so mad right now.
Uh-oh. Why are you angry, sir?
So, I got a text earlier when I was in the middle of a segment, and I probably shouldn't be looking at my phone, but it caught my eye.
I mean, you're live. You have to look at your phone. Breaking news.
And I never really do. The only thing I actually do, like when I'm talking to somebody, I might be texting some terrible stuff to somebody. Not terrible, like great stuff. But Houston's, the restaurant Houston's?
Yes, on Poplar or...
Man, it's like right, you got Half Shell at one corner, you got like Belmont right over there. Down the
Broadway,
street from Houston, you got a little Napa Cafe, you got a little Chow Bella, Salad Bill, baby, S.O.B.
Across street from Broadway Pizza.
Yeah, man, Broadway Pizza I used to love, by the way, and I hate to do this, but I had to go now to Fox Ridge because Broadway Pizza, I can't, every time I get try to
park
get a pizza.
In there. You can't get in there.
Park,
you can't get in.
And they're so short-staffed as of late, like my pizza, I order a pizza and they're like hour and a half. I'm like, what? Sorry, sir, hour and a half.
Yeah, they should make that up to you.
Damn, bro. But the food is absolutely great. I do love Broadway Pizza. I wasn't trying to side.
Yeah, but that parking lot is. I knew exactly where you were going.
Dude,
I knew it. We didn't talk about this.
Same problem with the Belmont. But at least I just usually walk to the Belmont and Half Shell. because you can park at the half shell, but I usually can't drive home from the half shell. Today is Country Music Thursday. My boy Tim's going to be up there. John Maxwell Slab. You got Freddie Tate, Jacques Lecoq. By the way, you know I start my weekends on usually Thursday, but I started it yesterday. And I'm making it today, but yeah, I'm kind of pissed. And you know why? Because I'm talking about restaurants. My man texts me, bro, Houston's closed.
As of right now.
And I was already pissed at Houston for taking out the prime rib, for changing the brownie. Now that Philly prime rib sandwich is so fire. The French, I like Houston's, and I also like their bar because it's a dope bar and there's people watching sports in there. I know
mainly rich
people. You can't wear a hat. I know. If you want to know where all the rich women at, bro.
Yep,
the single rich women hanging out at Houston, baby, drinking wine, looking so fine. Not looking there anymore. They closed down and listen to this BS because I live in this neighborhood and it pisses me off. After much deliberation, we have closed our Memphis Houstons. Regretfully, the operating environment in the vicinity has become increasingly difficult over the years. Screw you. Both with respect to our staff and public safety. While we know this development will be disappointing to many of our guests, damn right it is. It's a decision that was not made lightly. We would like to thank our guests for their support, and we hope to have an opportunity to serve you at another location. Screw you!
Can I translate?
Yeah, they say that they think Memphis.
There you go. Thank you, because it said nothing about sales.
No,
it said nothing about making money.
Bro.
This was about the city and people of Memphis.
Now, I get it. Cars get stolen out of the parking lot over there all the time. Damn it, don't put anything in your car. No, but man, that's kind of a slap in the face. And that's another one of my, because I don't like to go very far. I'm a very...
Oh, yeah. Homebody, that's what they call it.
I ain't no homebody. I'm out of town. I've been out of town every single weekend since September 7th.
Called the benefit of the doubt.
And I'm in town this weekend, but I'm going to Billy Strings Friday and Saturday night, baby. Yeah. Billy Strings! And I'm going to be in the Simmons Bank. Sweet, bro. The sweet life.
Do they have a hole in the side of the building?
FedEx Forum.
Oh, okay. You said Simmons Bank Suite. I
No,
just make sure you
the
didn't have
suite.
Oh, okay. Not
the
Liberty.
suite.
Okay. I thought you said Simmons Bank Liberty. Okay.
No, Simmons Bank. Oh, no. Yeah, I ain't giving no credit to them, man. Liberty Bowl looks terrible right now. But I'm giving them credit because they're great at doing their banking business, and they love me, and they take me to their suite. And I got to say, I love you, Laura. I love you, Kevin. Thank you so much. You're amazing people. Didn't even have to pay for my tickets, man. It's going to save me like $500 this weekend. Maybe even more. Because I had to pay for Chaz, too. Thank you, Simmons Bank. Now, Houston, screw you. Permanently closed. Here's a finger to you.
Not relocating.
Man, they bounced.
Closing. They bounced.
Our staff, with regard to our staffing and public safety, to our guests, man, I can't even talk about it anymore. I'm getting off of this. I will tell you one thing. Did you see, do you know who Riri is?
Riri, like as in Rihanna?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
is there
yeah.
another Riri? Actually, there is. I called my little girl Rio. I called her Riri when she was a baby. If I called her that now, she'll slap me. She'll side-eye me. But yeah, Rihanna.
A$AP Rocky's wife.
That's right. By the way, he did good, didn't he? He did good. He did real good. Because you know what? I didn't even know this till today. Because Angel Reese is a badass basketball player in the WNBA. She got a natty at LSU. She's the villain to Caitlin Clark when she was pointing at her finger and stuff. Dude, I like her. She's got moxie. She's got swag. And now she's going to have a bag. Because guess who just ran into each other yesterday? That would be one, Rihanna and Angel Reese.
Bayou Barbie action.
They were at the Footwear News Achievement Awards. I didn't even know they had this, Achievement Awards in New York City. They run across each other's paths. They said that, Angel Reese completely goes fangirl. Goes, hugs her, takes picture with her, and just like, oh my God, I love you, blah, blah, blah. You're the best. You're the greatest. You're the queen. Super, super kind. And then later she posted on her IG how much she loved Riri. And she said, let's get together and do a little work. I would love to work with you. And guess what Rihanna replied?
Stop begging.
Let's do it. I'm always ready. And let's remember, you partner with Rihanna, you're going to have a bag because I didn't know until today. She's a billionaire.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. How the hell am I supposed to know Rihanna? I didn't know. I did not know. She's launched several successful businesses.
Not just for music. Absolutely.
Finny Beautiful. Like all kinds of things. Man, we're talking about this woman is smart. Billionaire. And now she's going to work with Angel Reese. And let me tell you something. I think that's very smart for Rihanna. Because, that'll bring just even more shine to the WNBA. I don't know. I just thought that was like, damn. Angel Reese shot her shot.
I think it's bigger for Reese.
It's bigger for Reese, of course, because, she's going to get a big bag. But what I'm saying is she shot her shot. And remember, you don't make a single shot you don't attempt. I'm using this for you. Don't be scared of a woman. Man, what's the worst thing she can say? No, turn around and go talk to another one. You miss every single shot you don't take.
Great advice.
You miss every shot you don't take. Shoot your shot. Angel Reese shot hers. Now she's about to have a big old bag. Damn, where'd the time go, bro?
Yeah, it's time to get out.
Man, I don't like that because I have a couple more, but I guess, do you just put them in the chamber and hold them for tomorrow?
You can if they're not time stamped, These are, my stories are not the most amazing, about time. It really doesn't matter. I got a UFO story. I guess I'll hold it for a Friday. Don't forget, we got T-Money Uncle Brasky. We got Lee Sterling. We got Jay Ham. Boy, that was hard. Did you notice how hard I was thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow? Yeah. That's
crazy,
how you
bro.
prepare. It's called
that
getting
just
prepared.
shows that drink a lot of alcohol on a Wednesday, mouth won't work on a Thursday.
It's the whole prime rib you can't get anymore. That's what it is.
And Houston's closing permanently.
It's pissed you off.
That just makes me so mad. I guess Anyway, we're going to take a quick timeout. We got a Thursday night football game that I'm really, really interested in and I'm excited for. It's the Packers. It's the Lions. It's going down for real. Who's going to win? I'll tell you on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director of Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday, it's happy hour from 3 to 6. $1 off all draft meals, $5 off will drinks, $4.50 for house wine, Union, Tapa, Red Squares, mozzarella sticks, queso, $4 a day. Friday night lights from 7 to closing. Dine in and buy Grill wings anytime. Free on watch college football and every pro game. All at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland. Highway 70, fall is football.
Ross Tucker here from Westwood One. Join Ian Eagle and me for Thursday Night Football with NFC North action from Detroit with the Lions hosting the Packers. Green Bay is 9-3 and very much in the playoff hunt thanks to a 3-game winning streak. Now they face the division-leading Lions who are 11-1 and on a 10-game win streak. Don't miss it on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
Story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, how housing someone's student.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not point the finger saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Don't forget, you got to do a little Christmas shopping. It's pretty simple, man. 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch, Frontier Western Store, and FrontierWesternStore.com. You can just go online if you can't get to Olive Branch, bing, bang, boom. Order it. They'll have it out within 24 hours. It arrives before Santa comes down the chimney, and you can shop for the whole family. It's Frontier Western Store and FrontierWesternStore.com. Green Bay Packers playing the Detroit Lions tonight. And I am not liking, I think I'm loving, just like Jordan Love.
McLovin.
I'm loving the Green Bay Packers. That defensive front is beat to hell. They've already lost Aiden Hutchinson. Josh Pascal's out. Levi Onwuzie, KK, or whatever his name is. You know what I'm talking about? He's out. DJ Reader, out. I mean, Wingo's out. Like, who the hell is going to play the defensive line? Green Bay Packers, they can run like some mad men. I don't like the fact that Jair Alexander's not going to play because he's absolutely amazing at cornerback. And the play-action game is no joke for Detroit. They can run it. They got a great offensive line themselves. But the better defense tonight is on the Green Bay Packers. Detroit also already beat Green Bay this year. It's hard to beat your division opponent twice in a year. Give me the 3 points, baby. Hell, I don't even need them. I'm going money line. Let's roll. Did have to say I'm sorry about the Auburn game yesterday, by the way. That was absolutely embarrassing. I mean, you had Johnny Broom's worst game of the year. Bruce Pearl looked like he was like sweating like a bootlegger in a Baptist convention.
We're at a backyard with hot dogs.
And the Cameron Crazies were crazy. Cooper Flagg is the truth. Got to give Duke their credit there. Auburn got their first loss, but I still think they're one of the top 3 teams in the country. I hope you join me tomorrow because it's going to be off the chain for Darian Newsom. I'm John Harden. Get out there, make the world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace.